Modern fortunes are often tied to the volatile swings of the stock market. We look at Elon Musk, whose net worth is measured by the valuation of his companies and technology in a globalized economy. We see similar patterns with Jeff Bezos, who built a fortune through a massive logistics and e-commerce network that touches nearly every continent on Earth. But historical estimates place the wealth of our subject at roughly $400 billion, over 3.4 quadrillion rupees. This figure stands as one of the largest concentrations of individual wealth ever recorded. This fortune belonged to Mansa Musa, the 14th century sovereign of the Mali Empire in West Africa. Understanding how a medieval ruler constructed a financial engine of this scale, long before the existence of modern banking or global investment, requires looking at how he leveraged geography and supply chains. The Mali Empire occupied a massive stretch of the West African interior. At its height, the territory spanned thousands of miles, encompassing everything from the deep Sahara to the fertile savannas of the south. This 1375 map, the Catalan Atlas, shows why this land mattered. Mali sat at the center of the medieval world's primary trade routes, linking sub-Saharan Africa to European and Middle Eastern markets. These caravans moved two primary resources: gold, the standard for currency, and salt. In the 14th century, salt was essential for human survival and the only reliable method for food preservation. In some markets across the Sahara, a pound of salt was traded at an equal value to a pound of gold. By controlling this territory, Musa held the primary choke point for the most important commodities of his era. To monetize this geography, the empire utilized a system of sovereign taxation. Rather than focusing entirely on the labor of mining, the crown functioned as a mandatory toll for every merchant. Every ounce of gold and load of salt entering or exiting the empire's borders was subject to a heavy tax collected by the royal treasury. Musa enforced a state-run monopoly over these trade lanes. By eliminating private competition and channeling all traffic through specific imperial hubs, he ensured the empire took a cut of every transaction. As Mediterranean demand for gold grew, this system processed increasingly large volumes of trade, consistently filling the treasury as the world appetite for African resources intensified. This combination of strict border tolls and a total trade monopoly served as the primary engine behind his wealth. In 1324, Mansa Musa began his Hajj, or holy pilgrimage, to the city of Mecca. While the journey was a religious requirement, he utilized the track to demonstrate the liquidity and power of the Mali Empire. He traveled with a caravan of 60,000 people, including soldiers and heralds, accompanied by hundreds of camels carrying tons of gold. The procession stopped in Cairo, which was then a primary economic hub for the region. His spending and charity during the stay were so vast that he flooded the local market with gold. This caused the metal's value to crash, resulting in a decade of hyperinflation that severely damaged the Egyptian economy. This economic disruption signaled the empire's presence to the global community, effectively placing Mali on the maps of European and Middle Eastern powers as a major economic force. After returning from his journey, Musa shifted his focus toward reinvesting this capital into the permanent infrastructure of his empire. He transformed cities like Timbuktu into major centers of culture and architecture, funding the construction of massive mosques and libraries that became landmarks of the Islamic world. This investment turned the empire into a destination for scholars, poets, and scientists, fostering a period of high-level scholarship and architectural innovation in West Africa. Mansa Musa's standing as the wealthiest individual in history was not defined by a stagnant hoard of gold. His legacy was built on his ability to control global supply chains and use that capital to fund a civilization that remained relevant for centuries.